Hello everyone and welcome back to my channel Season and Serve vlog. My name is Melissa and in today's video I'm going to show you how to make a radicchio and kale winter salad with pomegranate dressing. This is a great winter recipe as we are using ingredients that are in season right now, including oranges, radicchio, and pomegranates. We are also making a homemade pomegranate molasses from scratch for a delicious pomegranate dressing. So if you want to see how to make this radicchio and kale salad with pomegranate dressing, just keep on watching. To begin this recipe, we will make our pomegranate molasses first, and all you need for this is 2 ingredients, pomegranate juice and granulated white sugar. And this is really great to make at home, especially if you can't find pomegranate molasses in your local grocery store. All you have to do is pour your pomegranate juice into a small pot and add the sugar, and then whisk it until the sugar is dissolved. Bring it to a boil over high heat, and then once it's boiling and bubbling vigorously, reduce the heat to just medium-high. We still want to cook this out really quickly, and we're going to let it simmer and reduce until it's reduced by 3/4, so we'll only have 1/4 of this mixture left. As the pomegranate juice reduces down, it becomes thick, and make sure you stir this every 2 to 3 minutes, especially near the end of the cooking process to avoid any burning. And you'll know that pomegranate molasses is done when it has a syrupy consistency, kind of like cough syrup, but a little bit thicker. You can see here it sticks to my finger, and it also coats the bottom of the pot with a nice light film. Once the pomegranate molasses is cooked, carefully pour it into a heat-proof glass jar to cool. It will thicken up slightly as it cools, so it'll be the perfect consistency for our pomegranate dressing. In total, this recipe will yield about 1/2 cup or 150 milliliters of pomegranate molasses. While the pomegranate molasses is cooling, we'll prepare our vegetables, and we're going to prepare our kale and our radicchio. To prepare the kale, it is very simple. All you need is a sharp knife and use it to cut out the inside stem of the kale. These stem portions are a little bit too tough to eat in a salad, so all I do is simply cut them out and then add them to my compost. Once all the stems are removed, you'll just have the leaves left, and all you want to do is cut these into thin slices. I cut these into 1 centimeter slices, and this has the perfect texture in the salad, especially when it creates long ribbons just like this. Next, we'll transfer the kale to a bowl, and then we're going to massage the kale, and this is really important to make the kale nice and tender and delicious in your salad. So all I do for this is add a little bit of salt as well as a couple teaspoons of olive oil, and then just use my hands to mix it all together. You kind of want to press and massage the kale, and this tenderizes it and makes it perfect. Then once that's done, we can set that aside and we can move on to cutting our radicchio. Preparing radicchio is really simple. All you have to do is cut it in half, and then you'll see in the middle that there is a white core running down the center. And this core, again, is a little bit too tough to eat in a salad, so all I do is take my knife, stab it into the center, and cut the wedge out. You do this in a little bit of a triangle shape, and the core should just pop right out. And again, once you get the core out, you can add this to your compost. Once the core has been removed, place it flat side down on a cutting board and use your knife to cut 1 centimeter thick slices of the radicchio. This will match the texture of the kale, so it'll all blend together in the salad. If you haven't had radicchio before, it is on the bitter side, and that's because it belongs to the chicory family, and is very similar to endive, escarole, and frisee, and all of those vegetables have a bitter flavor to them. I would say that it can be a bit of an acquired taste because of how bitter it is sometimes, but it pairs really great in this recipe, especially with the sweet pomegranate dressing. It is also a cool season crop, so it's in season from fall all the way to early spring. So the next time you're at the grocery store this winter season, make sure to pick some up and make this amazing recipe. Now I got a bit off track there, but all you want to do after you've sliced up your radicchio is add it into the bowl with the kale and toss it all to combine. We'll set that aside, and then we'll get to preparing our next seasonal ingredient, which is an orange. Now sadly, we can't grow oranges locally here in Canada where I'm from, but they are in season in areas like Australia, South Africa, and in the southern United States. And even though they're imports, they are best enjoyed in the winter time when they're in season. For this recipe, we're cutting the orange into a supreme, which is a fancy word for saying an orange wedge. And all you want to do is use a sharp knife to remove the top and bottom of the orange, and then remove all the skin from the outside. You want to also take away that white pith because it's bitter. Now when you have a nice clean orange like this, we're going to remove the segments of the orange by cutting between the membranes. And you can see the membranes because they look like little white lines going up and down the sides of the orange. So take your knife and slice in between each side of the membrane, kind of forming a triangle shape again so you can remove the actual flesh of the orange. And I would suggest here that instead of using a big chef's knife like I was, use a smaller paring knife as you'll be a little bit more precise. Then repeat this process going around the outside of the orange, removing all the segments and dropping them into a bowl. Now at this point we're almost ready to assemble our salad, but we do need to get 2 other ingredients ready, and those are pomegranate seeds and toasted pistachios. Finally, we'll make our pomegranate dressing, and for this you want to add a 1/4 cup of the pomegranate molasses to a jar or a bowl to make your dressing in, and then add about a tablespoon of honey. The honey adds another layer of sweetness to this dressing, and it goes perfect with the pomegranate molasses. Next, we're going to add about a tablespoon of red wine vinegar to give the dressing a bit of tartness, and then some olive oil to bring it all together. And of course, you can find the full measurements and directions for this recipe on my blog, and I'll leave it linked in the description box below. Once all those ingredients have been added together, just use a small whisk and mix that up to combine. It won't fully combine because we don't have an emulsifying agent, but give it a good whisk and we're good to go. I like to serve the salad family style, so use a really large plate and then add the shredded kale and radicchio to the base of that. I love the mixture of the green and red colors. It is actually perfect for the holidays. Then we're going to top it with our orange supremes, just dotting this all over the top of the salad. We'll finish off the salad by topping it with our toasted pistachios as well as our pomegranate seeds, and these add so much color and brightness to the salad. And finally, we'll drizzle over our pomegranate dressing to bring this perfect winter salad together. And that's it for today's video. I hope that you enjoyed watching me make my radicchio and kale winter salad with pomegranate dressing. This recipe uses the best seasonal winter ingredients and is even the perfect salad to serve during the holiday season. You can find the full recipe on my blog, which is linked in the description box below. And while you're there, make sure to explore my website for more seasonal recipes like this one. I'm happy to say that I have a beautiful and brand new website where you can find seasonal recipes a lot easier. You can also follow me here on YouTube as well as Instagram and TikTok for more seasonal living inspiration. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to enjoy the best of the season every day.